I've had about 4 hours of sleep. I'm on my second cup of coffee, but I'm ready to get started. How about y'all? Welcome to my first video recorded postpartum. So in today's video, you can clean along with me as I get just about the whole house picked up. You'll get to meet baby Rye as I have to stop a couple of times throughout the video and attend to him, of course. And it will be a little bit of a chatty video. Well, all of my videos are kind of chatty as I give you guys the updates on his spontaneous labor and then also questions that I've received, like where did I come up with his name? How do I get anything done? How am I managing postpartum? So I'll definitely be updating y'all on some of that. If this is your first time here, then you can probably tell from the title that I am postpartum. When I am filming this, I'm 2 weeks postpartum, and there is baby Rye, 2 weeks old, but by the time this video gets published, it'll be about a month later. My name is Michelle, and I'd love for you to subscribe to all of the mom life motivation, because we all know dark circles around your eyes and coffee is the norm around here. But as I'm getting started, I wanted to thank Blinkist for sponsoring today's video. If y'all have been here for a while, then you know how much I love listening to inspirational things such as books and podcasts, which makes Blinkist perfect because Blinkist is an app that enables you to understand the most important things from over 5,500 nonfiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. Within the app, you can use the search feature to search for your favorite authors or book titles and add them to your playlist library, which you can either listen to now or later. And based on your previous history, you can look for similar blinks or recommended blinks and also add those to your library. I can then go back through my saved list and listen to those while I'm cleaning and getting stuff done, or browse through the blinks that I've already finished. In my library, I do have some mindful topics as well as parenting topics, but one that stuck out to me was Brené Brown's Rising Strong. In this quick blink, it goes over how to become more confident after you feel like you've been defeated or failed at something. Fear of failure is often what stops us from trying new things, whether that is with parenting, organizing, trying or starting a new routine, or even trying to start a business. She states that one thing that you have to do in order to take risks and really build confidence and rise strong is to commit to failure and accept that you will fail, but you're not the only one that has failed either. The experience after failure even helps encourages those around you. So this one I highly recommend, especially if you are craving a change but very scared to get started. Blinkist also offers a new feature called Blinkist Connect, where with your membership, you can actually share the membership with a friend or family at no additional charge. You can then recommend titles and share favorites to each other. Blinkist is offering all of you guys a 7-day free trial plus 25% off the Blinkist annual premium membership by using the promo link in the description box below.
Kiss still burning, didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile? It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, get over this surface.
So So the girls had a little bit of a fashion show in the living room, so that's why I'm picking up shoes and dresses and putting them by the stairs. I also ordered some stuff for fall decorating, and I don't ever fold up my boxes and put them away. I just stuff them in the garage, and then Chris, my husband, can definitely take care of, folding them down, putting them in the recycle the right way. But I did mention that I was about 2 weeks postpartum whenever I started cleaning. I thought that I could get so much more done today than I actually did. So it is broken up into 2 separate days. I had also said in one of my previous videos that I was going to hire someone to help me clean the house while I was at the hospital. So that way I could come home to like a spotless house. They could have deep cleaned all the areas that I couldn't get to. At the very end of my pregnancy, I was exhausted. The position that he was in was such an uncomfortable position. And I also had sciatic nerve pain, which is just like a pain in your back that kind of shoots down your leg. So it was hard for me to walk and just basically hard for me to do stuff overall. Even though I kind of like pushed through it in some of those videos, I just want to say that I was really exhausted. But that being said, I never did get around to hiring anyone because I had an induction date scheduled. So we were supposed to go in on a Wednesday night on August 11th to get induced, but I actually went into labor on my own that Saturday. So like I was ready, but not really ready, where I didn't have everything scheduled out and planned like I normally do. So we are just taking it day by day right now. I've been trying to keep up with dishes and laundry as best as I can, but I do feel a little bit delusional with the lack of sleep I've been getting. Now, we are so blessed that Rye is such a good baby. He really is, and I just love sitting and cuddling him. I don't know if it's because this is going to be our last baby that I'm just like soaking everything in, but he is the sweetest. But with every newborn, they do get up every 2 to 3 hours to eat, and he for sure does that. So this is no doubt a 24-hour around-the-clock job. So I'm washing some dishes, washing bottles. Yes, I am pumping and breastfeeding, but in there, you're probably wondering why I just noticed I have Starbucks cups that I washed. And at my girls' school, they asked us to bring some recyclable items for one of the projects that they're doing. And I'm like, well, I have a ton of Starbucks cups because that's basically what I've been living off of. So that's why I'm cleaning and washing them so that they can bring them to school for their project. So next I'm going to finally clean out all of the sink area and get all the crud and stuff that's underneath the sink where all of the food stuff piles up. I now know to put the racks in the washing machine and just go ahead and wash those racks in there so that I don't have to do anything. But before I get started, little Rye was fussing a little bit, so I'm going to go and kind of hold him to see if I can get him calmed down, probably feed him, and then get back to the cleaning.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. You can ride all the blue.
So as I clean out the sink and some other areas in the kitchen that I hadn't gotten to in a while, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what happened that Saturday. So the night before, we went out to eat to a nice steak dinner, kind of like our last dinner with just us two. And that morning, Saturday morning on August 6th, I woke up at 7 in the morning and I was like contracting a lot. They weren't super painful contractions, but I noticed that they weren't kind of slowing down, and I did not want to go to the hospital and get turned down. Like, no, you're not in labor, go home. So that was like one of my fears. So I was like, I'm just gonna kind of, get some stuff done around the house, and then they'll go away probably, because I do have 2 other daughters, if you are new here, but was induced with both of them, so I didn't really know what it was like to go into labor naturally. So I just did not expect it to happen. And even my doctor told me, you're probably not going to go early if you didn't with your others, but there's always a possibility. So I'm thinking, I'm not going into labor. It's just, Braxton Hicks contractions. So by 12 o'clock, I was like, man, I started timing them, and they were like 5 to 15 minutes apart. Again, not unbearable, but really annoying. So that's when I started packing stuff up, because I did not have my hospital bag ready. I didn't have the girls' clothes ready because they were going to stay with both my parents and Chris's parents. And at about 12 o'clock, I was like, Chris, can you call your mom? Maybe she can come here and we can just go to the hospital for a little bit and get checked. And then he called her, and she was like far, on the other side of town. So I was like, okay, no, I'll just, wait it out and see what happens. So I really debated about going in, and then like around 2 o'clock, I started just packing things up, and I was like, Chris, why don't you just take me to the hospital, drop me off, have them check me, and then they're probably going to tell me to go home, and then you can just come pick me up. Because at this point, we really didn't have anyone to watch the girls. I didn't want to call his mom or my mom to come drive 45 minutes across town for me to go to the doctor for a few minutes and then tell me to go back home. So I didn't want to inconvenience anyone. And I just said, you take the girls, you drop me off, and then we'll see, what they say. So at around like 4 o'clock, he dropped me off maybe it was like 3 o'clock. He dropped me off in the emergency room because it was Saturday. So the hospital was closed, and they took me in, and they were like, no, this is like a 3-hour process because we have to check you and then we have to monitor you. And I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like, go in, check me, come out, tell me I'm staying or tell me I'm going, whatever. I don't know how it worked. So I went in, and they were like, okay, you're 3 centimeters dilated, but like he's really high up. So he hasn't dropped yet. And you're only a little bit effaced, which is like thinned out, I guess. So they said that there was a high chance that I was probably going to go home. But when they hooked me up to the monitor, she was like, you are contracting a lot. And luckily, my doctor was on call that weekend. So I was really fortunate to have my doctor there. So after about an hour, they were like, we'll just keep monitoring you, and then we'll come and check you again in an hour. But most people don't see any results when you're, when it's at where the level you're at. And then she came back in an hour, kind of letting me know she was probably going to release me, but checking me one more time. And she was like, oh my goodness, you've progressed. Now you're 4 centimeters dilated, and he's dropped, quite a bit. So she's like, let me go see, your doctor's here on call. So let me go find her, and then stay here. We'll monitor you for 1 more hour. And like I told Chris, I'm like, they're still going to monitor me, but, we'll see. And then 5 minutes later, she comes in and she's like, no, we're admitting you tonight. And then I'm like, Chris, they're admitting me tonight. So drop the kids off, come here, do whatever. So they got me up into a room. They got me changed. I'm waiting on Chris. They're like hooking me up and doing everything. And he's like, tell him to wait. Don't have the baby. I'm like, I'm not going to have the baby right now. So then he gets there. And then like within a couple of hours, my contractions still weren't hurting. So I figured I had a lot of time. But then like within a couple of hours, I was already 7 centimeters dilated, which 10 is like where, you're ready to go. So they gave me the epidural. So I did get cleared for the epidural. I was very on the borderline because of my low platelet count, but they ended up sending it off downtown, consulting with my hematologist, and I ended up getting an epidural, even though I wasn't in excruciating pain, even being 7 centimeters dilated. But what happened when they gave me the epidural is my blood pressure dropped a lot, so they had to give me like extra fluids and stuff. And, I was kind of getting dizzy and stuff. And I think that kind of stopped my labor a little bit, where whereas the other 2 girls, it didn't, but I was, getting Pitocin and stuff. So, or getting induced. And, so after 2 hours, my labor wasn't progressing enough. So, they kind of said for me to rest. They put me in a couple of different positions. And then, so my contractions still were like monitoring. They still were like 5 minutes apart. So they weren't super close up. And they waited about 3 hours to check me. So about 2:30 in the morning, they came in and was like, we're going to check you one more time. And they were like, oh, he's right there. Like, you're ready. You're ready to go. So they called everyone in. And then one push and he was out. So he must have been there. Obviously I couldn't feel anything because of my epidural. But he must have been like ready to go for a little bit. So within one push, he came out and everything was perfect. We are so blessed. He came out 7 pounds, 12 ounces, 20 inches long, and just a perfect little guy.
Into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing in your eyes. Girl, I can tell that you have something on your mind. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's the happy girl that I know with a heart on fire? I'll do anything to make it fun.
Now, doing laundry for 5 is no joke. Because it's not just about the clothes anymore. It's also about the towels and the sheets and the washcloths and the rugs and everything else that goes along with it. And earlier in this video, I showed you guys these pants where the diaper leaked through, and I used this Mrs. Mouth's stain remover, and it seems to have worked pretty good. I saw that stain remover on Amazon, and it says that it's for like messy eaters, like if they get food all over, but it seemed to have gotten that out of the washing machine. So now I'm going to switch them out and move them over to the dryer. I just like to check if there is something that is stained. I like to see if the stain is out before I move it to the dryer, because once I feel like it's dried, then it's done and there's nothing that can be done about it. So if there is still a stain on it, then I try something different, like maybe soap and water. Or what are y'all's suggestions for getting stains out? I like to do something different and then rewash it before it is fully dried.
There's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes.
So as I mentioned before, I'm about 2 weeks postpartum when I am doing all of the cleaning and filming, and I do plan to document kind of my postpartum journey. I started a highlight over on my Instagram, Michelle O'Malley 711, that says postpartum, where I kind of talk about how much I weighed whenever I gave birth, how much I've lost so far, what are some of my goals, and then I do have pictures of like what I looked like 12 hours postpartum all the way up till now. So I don't know if you're interested in following kind of postpartum journey, some of the things that I do to reach my goals, which I do hope to reach my goals in the next 4 to 6 months, exercises and stuff like that. Whenever I am cleared to exercise, then you can follow me along there. I'll be sharing all of that. But another thing that I wanted to mention, especially if you love organizing and organizing conferences and stuff, is that back in June I was selected and also volunteered to be a guest speaker at the Get Organized HQ virtual conference. In this conference, there's over 100 women guest speakers that talk about a variety of topics such as organization, time management, decluttering, and more. It's completely online and it runs from September 12th to the 16th. I am talking specifically about working through a lack of motivation, so use my link below and you can get a free ticket to the conference. It's a virtual video that I worked really hard on, so I would be really excited if you did decide to join this free event.
Hold up just a minute. Been looking for some help just to find myself. Yeah. Been losing my focus like 1,000 times before. Can't take this anymore. 'Cause I've been looking for something to change thoughts into motion. Been waiting way too long. Yeah, waiting just for somebody to love and to surround me.
So the two biggest questions that I've had since having Rye is, how am I adjusting and how did I come up with his name? So question one, how am I adjusting? So I'm definitely hanging in there. Like I didn't remember postpartum with the girls. I must have like blacked it out, but it is an adjustment. You're still in pain afterwards. You still have a lot of stuff going on afterwards. And then you're also trying to figure out feeding your baby. Breastfeeding, I've mentioned, was difficult for me. So we are breastfeeding, but with him, like the third time around, one thing that I've done differently is not stress so much about it. Like with the girls, I think that it kind of like took my focus off of spending time with them and caring for them and soaking it all in, because I was so worried about getting them breast milk or trying to feed them or trying to figure out the schedule. And I think this time around, I was like, you know what? You're getting a bottle at 3 days old. I'm going to pump as much as I can. And if you don't go back to, breastfeeding after that, then I'm not going to stress about it. And, luckily he did. So we're able to do both, and it has gotten better. It was a little difficult at first. It has gotten better, but I think that this time around, I'm just allowing myself to be more laid back about things, and know that, regardless of which way or which decision or how he handles it, that we're just going to go with the flow. And me just kind of stepping back and like taking care of myself and just letting things be has been such a different experience. And I wish I would have done that with the other two. So not letting anyone pressure me into doing things a certain way or being a certain way or, judging me for certain things has just been such a relief. So if you didn't see my clean and nest video, I have in the office is where I have this little station set up where I have like diapers, wipes, burp cloths, and swaddles. And then in our bedroom, we just have the bassinet. And then upstairs is all the rest of his stuff. So that's where that little room is. The next thing I plan to clean is the bathroom. So when you're postpartum, you have all of the things that go with postpartumness. So I have a little station set up next to our toilet in the bathroom, but I am planning on cleaning out this area. So another thing that goes along with like, how am I adjusting is like, how are you getting stuff done? And I've always said this before was like, not having a to-do list, but just having like a priority list and having a realistic expectation. So before like I had him, I was like, I'm going to get all these videos done. Maybe I can do 2 videos a week. Maybe I can, do this and that. And I'm like, man, feeding him takes an hour, so I need to like reevaluate my expectations because he is my number one priority and that is my full-time job. And then, if I can just get one video edited in a day, then I have accomplished a lot. Or if I can just get the kitchen picked up in a day, then, that is a big accomplishment for me. So how am I getting things done? It's just like, what is the one thing I want to do today along with taking care of him? And, today for me, it's doing my voiceover for the video. Another day it is, making sure the kitchen is done or folding all of the laundry that is overdue. So just kind of scheduling 1, maybe 2 things a day. And then everything else is all family, all baby, all kids. and then schedule in the housework in between. Now, the girls do go to school. So if they stayed home with me 24/7 while I'm with a newborn, while also trying to get the housework done, I would literally lose my mind. I don't know how you other moms do it. You guys are like rock star superstars. But right now I have 3 kids, 4 and under, and let me just tell you, the weekends are chaotic. Even with help from my husband, I still lose my mind because, trying to get Rye adjusted and feeding him and then having the girls run outside, and I'm like, no, nobody's watching you outside, come back inside. Just trying to get everything adjusted is just, I wouldn't be able to do it. So here's what I mean. I have to stop a little bit what I'm doing. I normally take out all of the stuff that I have to do in between, but I'm leaving it in. So with my newborn, with Rye, he needed a little bath, so I stopped for a minute, gave him a bath. He is not happy about being cold, but that's just a little real life moment. And then now I'm back to the cleaning after he's fed, bathed, and happy.
From my window, sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door.
So I did want to ask and get y'all's feedback. I received a couple questions, about like scheduling your day. How are you managing it with a newborn? How do you prioritize things? Like questions along that. Would y'all be interested in like a day in the life routine that, obviously it involves cleaning, picking up, getting stuff done. I haven't done those. I know a lot of people do day in the lives. I wasn't really sure how interested any of you guys would be in that because I really do stick a lot to cleaning, motivation, decorating, and, home project makeovers. So leave me some feedback if it's something that you're interested in or not really, just kind of stick to the same old. There's no right or wrong answer. It would just be what you guys are interested and not interested in. But now I'm in my closet. It is still not immaculate, but it is still cleaned and picked up and organized. And I am so excited. I will go through and do another declutter once I'm out of all of my maternity clothes, and so I can go ahead, give those back, donate those, and then, get back into my regular clothes and really stay on top of the decluttering.
We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone.
So another question was, where did we come up with Rye's name? Because we didn't announce his name until he was born. And, there is no special meaning. His name is Rye River. And there's no special, meaning behind it. We just liked the name. I really liked the name River. So we have Sailor. If you guys have been here, Sailor is our oldest daughter. And then Savannah's our middle daughter. And then I just was loving the name Rye. We had so many questions if we were going to keep it an S, but I didn't want to just stick to an S name and then settle for a name that I just wasn't in love with, if that made sense. There was a lot of Rye names that I liked, like Riker, Ryler, Rylan, like all of these names just kept coming to me, and I'm like, oh, I like that one. I like that one. And then Chris's middle name is Ryan. So we kind of just said, what if we just named him Rye? It wouldn't be a nickname. It would just be his name. And that name kept growing on us. So after a while, we were like, we just love the name Rye River, and we are going to go with that. It's something different, which we wanted. We wanted to be unique, but not like way out there. So we thought that was just a happy medium. And now we just love calling him Rye River. But next, I am heading upstairs. It is another day. The playroom is clean. The girls have been really good with keeping up with it, but I do have a basket that I keep downstairs. So if any toys are brought downstairs, instead of like going upstairs every single time to put a toy away, we put it in the basket. And then, you know, at the end of the day or the end of, you know, a couple of days when it's full, I'll bring it back upstairs and then put those toys away. Also, we just made over the girls' bedroom, so I'm going to put some of their stuffed animals away while they are at their preschool and get this room kind of picked up for them so they can come home to a clean room.
Like being on my own, I could use someone to hold. And I've been trying to fill the void, but my bed is getting cold. Cause I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not anymore. You said you had to go away just to figure out who you are. And I'm in this empty house with your pictures on my wall. But I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not anymore. Just waiting for love, waiting for love. Try to forget about you makes me restless. Waiting for love, waiting for love. I don't know what else I can do, it's hopeless to be holding on to you.
Now, this vacuum I have stays upstairs, and every time I use it, I get a question about it. It is a really old Shark vacuum. I want to say I've had it for probably over 10 years. I can't even link it because it's so old. I don't think they sell it anymore. But I think it's similar to the Shark Navigator Pet Plus that I looked up that is more current. But as I finish up this video, I did want to let y'all know that in the next couple of weeks, I will have some fall decorating and some more decluttering, cleaning, and organizing videos up. So I do hope that you'll subscribe and make sure you click the bell notification so that you don't miss when a new video does come out. I also wanted to quickly remind you that you can get a 7-day free trial and 25% off of Blinkist's annual premium membership using my code in the link below. But I'll see all of y'all next week for some fall decorating.